Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to a rainy night at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. This is Jamie Stallings. I'm usually behind the screen directing things tonight, but we're a few kids short, so we're doubling up on things. I'm here, and I'm joined by Van Stimmen.
Hello.
What do you think today, Van?
I think there may be a lot of turnovers tonight. It's a crazy, wild, rainy night. Hopefully, there's no lightning. There hadn't been any lightning all day in this. It's just rained hard all day. The radar has looked like it's going to maybe clear up a little bit for a while, in terms of rain anyway. I don't mean clear up, but stop raining for a little bit. But we'll see. Either way, it ought to be exciting. Both teams are excited about this game, I think. And
It's always fun to play in the rain too. I mean, you can see as the center has trouble with the snap, but it's always fun to play in the rain. It's kind of slip and slide. It reminds you of being, 8 years old and playing in the mud.
Yep. Well, that's one thing. It's not muddy down there on this field, but it is wet. You can see the water standing all over the field, and it's probably not going to get any drier as we go through the night. The final home game tonight for the Golden Eagles 9th grade team. And we have the final home game coming up Thursday night for the 8th grade team when they take on the Oakdale Patriots, who are directly related, the little brothers of the Heritage War Eagles that we're seeing here tonight.
So we'll be back. Game looks to start in about 15 minutes. We'll be back with the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem here in a little bit, but stay with us here on the Lakeside Golden Eagle Sports Network. And we're back here on the Lakeside Golden Eagle Sports Network. Lakeside, I think, won the toss. Looks like they're going to receive. Ben, what do you think the keys of the game today are?
Don't turn it over first. This is one of those games where, junior high football, a punt is already rolling the dice.
Yeah.
And so in this case, it becomes even more so. Passing is going to be difficult for teams. It just kind of comes down to who. I think it's going to come down to who turns it over the most, who doesn't. And both of these teams are teams that are looking for a win tonight. They're both teams that are hungry for a win, and I think they see each other as a chance for that after having tough seasons.
Yeah, and Lakeside's they have played well, I think. I don't want to say that they've had a lot of close games, but they've played well. Heritage kicks off to the 20. We're going to have trouble seeing the numbers all night. It's the black and red jerseys.
I do see with the tackle there was Dylan Nye for Heritage, and I believe that was number 7, Todrick Gideon, with the return.
So one thing to note, Derek Jones is back from an injury. Do you think that's going to change the game a little bit?
Well, it's going to definitely give the Golden Eagles something they haven't had lately. Now, is he in there right now?
Yeah, he just went in number 11.
Okay. Well, they've missed him, and of course they've had a lot of injuries this year. The quarterback, I started to say Damian Shepard. It's
Trenton
Sizemore. I have them both in class, and they sit near each other. But having him out has been tough. But they've also found some players like number 26, Jason Hurls, who just carried the ball.
A little 2-yard gain.
Caden Roy playing split in there at number 1. He's filled in at quarterback some when Trenton was out and did a good job of running things.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
He's not a polished passer or anything, but they kind of ran some of the old Wildcat plays like Darren McFadden used to and looked pretty good doing it. There's Hurls, and he gets
big hole
there on the left side, and he's going to get up to about the Heritage 45.
Yeah,
was brought down.
Lakeside's running their jumbo set. And one thing I noticed, and I noticed this in pregame, is they were having a little bit of trouble with the shotgun snap, which makes sense in this weather. But they're doing the exchange under center. It'll be interesting.
Well, if you get a bad snap, you got about 4 guys back there with a chance to jump on it.
Yeah, I played center in high school a little bit, and it's if you're not used to snapping, under center, there is a learning curve. And I noticed, it was still almost a shotgun snap, so we'll see if that's going to affect them. That's Hurls in the backfield, taken down by number 35. That is Landon Martin. No gain. Second down. It's at a loss of 1, it looks like.
Yeah, ball's at the 48-yard line. It's going to be second and about 13. Golden Eagles doing a good job blocking. On that play, somebody got missed.
Hurls is in the backfield.
Well, we got 2 players offsides. We got the Golden Eagles with split in that went early, and we got a hopefully, I guess it looks like just a fraction of a second before.
Tyler McFan, number 44, came across.
Yeah.
He was getting ready for a blitz.
And he, luckily for the Golden Eagles, that happened because the receiver on the far side was halfway down the field. Hurls gets hit again right there. That's 55. Evan Woods with the tackle. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, falls forward and gets maybe a yard.
And they've run every play at this point. It's been either to the A or B gap. It's been just right up the middle. They're not playing around at all, trying to go around the outside. That long run, Hurls took it off the left guard and went, but this is as I say
Roy.
that they go around. Good run.
Nice job. Roy hit it pretty quick there. I mean, he saw that hole and accelerated into it. That was a nice job. Good blocking too.
Gain of about 20 again.
And it was really good execution, especially with the wet ball. You worry about those type,
long
reverse
handoffs,
plays and multiple handoffs in one play. Nice job. It's first down and 10 there at the, 26-yard line?
Looks like it.
4:48 still to play in the first quarter. Hurls back there at tailback. And there's your fumble.
There's our missed snap. I think Trenton recovered.
Well, I believe it's Hurls that got it, but the Golden Eagles definitely fell on it. The Golden Eagles dressed in black tonight with the red numbers.
So one of the things I noticed in pregame, if you've got a quarterback under center, when you snap the ball, you want to turn it so it fits in their hands, and it's coming. You're not throwing it like you are with a shotgun snap. The center was essentially still throwing it back there. So when Trenton was receiving it, he was receiving it. He wasn't receiving it fully in his hands. He was almost catching it with the nose. And that was number 2, Slaughter Dominic, that jumped.
I believe that's a 5.
That's a 5. Same difference, Joshua
Yeah,
Volkin.
and that's Josh Bolkin. Earlier in the year, R.J. Ward was number 5. So,
but we'll see. I'm curious to see if we see any adjustments with the snap. I don't know that they've gone under center at all, at least at their home games.
they've had some where they have. They've especially when they've committed to running the ball.
Better snap. That was Hurls again. He's going to have to be the workhorse if Lakeside has any chance, and that's
22. That's Dakota. That's Dakota Langford.
Hey, we might get a name right.
Well, Jamie, let me get my glasses out here for you. I've got my field glasses, binoculars, if you want those, because it's really tough to see those numbers. But Dakota, you can tell it's him. He's got that flag. He's got that flag on the back of his. Now, Hurls is back there right now.
Yeah, one of Lakeside's strategies has been just to pound the rock. Trenton with a good move, misses one. Tries to look like KJ Jefferson, doesn't quite make it.
Doesn't miss the other 3.
And he's back at the 40, and it's first and a lot. Looks like about 24, maybe 23.
It is 4th and long. You got a decision to make here. You could really put them back deep with a decent punt, but at the same time,
do you want to punt it right now?
Oh yeah, that's where the question comes in, because punting has been an adventure sometimes.
And the rain has let up quite a bit as we're looking out. And I know this is moving east. You can see a little bit of light over the mountains to the east. And we are punting. Trenton gets it, boots it, and he kills it. What a punt on the 7?
Yeah, it looks like about the 7-yard line. When it was coming, I thought, well, that's just going to roll forever. Yeah. And it just hit that. It hit that water and just bounced straight up, stayed right there.
So great. I mean, not a bad drive, all things considered.
They had 3 or 4 pretty good plays. And it's the plays that are not getting yards. You're going, well, why does he keep running that? But those plays are what set up those big plays that come off of them. So
and here we go. Heritage is in the shotgun. We'll see what this looks like with a hard count.
Got a pistol there behind the quarterback and trips over here, and they go to the wrong side. Golden Eagles are right there taking advantage of it. I guess that would go down as a sack. Looked like either the quarterback or the tailback went the wrong way.
Who's the nose tackle? Is that 51?
I guess if I look through the correct end of the binoculars, that helps. But that's 71.
71.
That's Brian Araujo.
He took up 2 blockers right there.
Yep.
And did a good job holding his ground.
Well, he's a lot bigger than that center he's on right there.
Yeah, again, that was him blowing up that play. I don't know that he made the play, but he took on 2.5. He took up a center, a guard, and then the fullback that was coming through to lead.
Yeah, the tackle eventually was made by Jackson Watson, who came in from the linebacker position.
If you got a good nose tackle like that can occupy some blockers, He's worth his weight in gold.
Well, it's 3rd and 11 now as the time is ticking down on the first quarter. And Golden Eagles have been pretty tough here on defense, 1st and 2nd down. Let's see what happens on 3rd. Tailback's in the end zone. Big gap right there between between the center and the guard, and there's nowhere to go because Brian's right there. Brian Araujo right there, taking up space.
Lakeside shuts that down for a loss. Great series. That's the end of the first quarter. We're going to stay with you, but we're going to stop talking to you for a minute as the quarter change is over. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. And we're back here on the Lakeside Golden Eagles Sports Network. This is Jamie Stallings here with Van Stuman. And
Well, we're going to open the second quarter here with a 0-0 tie. Both teams have only run the ball. The Golden Eagles ate up, about 5 of the last 5 minutes out of that.
It was a
first half.
full 6-minute drive. I mean, it was a pretty impressive drive. This is going to be a quick game. I don't think either team is going to be willing to pass.
I don't think they would have anyway, but when you add in the weather as it is, and I don't think it's raining quite as hard right now.
It is just barely sprinkling as I'm looking at the puddles on the field.
Well, here's again where in a junior high game.
It's Jake Stout in the back.
He got it off somehow. I don't know how. But the ball's going to die right around the 42.
Pretty good punt.
Down by Heritage. Yeah, he got a 35-yard punt.
Lakeside's lucky they didn't get a roughing the kicker or
It looked like
running
they were,
into the kicker.
I mean, it looked like they were
close.
in position to get the ball. I don't know how the ball got out of there, but then in that split second, I thought, oh no, don't hit him.
So looking at the radar, we are in a little bit of a lull with a little more coming.
Been lucky there hasn't been lightning in this.
Yeah, at all. So Lakeside is in their jumbo set, and they've got Big Brian Araujo in the back. That is just a whole lot of
They
Lakeside.
got R.B. Peter back there lined up as the fullback. And they had a lot of guys didn't get the memo of what we're in here. 4 seconds, 3. You're going to have to get it off, and Coach takes the timeout. He got that timeout, I think, before the referee threw up the flag. So, yep, and Riddell Thompson is the referee tonight, the white hat. He waved off the flag. That's a timeout for Coach Dugan and the Golden Eagles. Had some trouble getting lined up right. When you're changing sets and you got guys playing both ways, sometimes that signal doesn't get to everybody.
Lakeside's run that jumbo set a few times this year. They did it. Was it Bentonville they had quite a bit of success with it with? It was one of the good teams that they were able to move the ball.
Yeah, I believe it was West. I believe it was Bentonville West, and that. Yeah, they're all running together, Jamie. It was a game where where the quarterback, Trenton was out, and Caden was in there playing quarterback, and they were just busting it through. They got behind early with some turnovers, couldn't come back, but they stayed in the game. And there's Dakota Langford. He gets about 7 up to the 45, the 35. It's going to be 2nd and 3.
And Brian, knocked a poor defensive back into next week.
Coach Dugan said, I asked him about that. I said, you got all the jumbo out there. He said, I looked around. I didn't have many backs, but I got a lot of linemen. And he's got 2 linemen back there playing fullback and halfback. And Dakota did a nice job shedding a tackler right there. And he's going to get the first down, it looks like. Kind of depends on the spot. But he lost his pink flag that we're using to identify him since we can't read his number.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the exchange was a little slow. Brian and who is that, Jesus?
It's R.B. Peter.
R.B. Are leaving Dakota. They're just going straight ahead, and the handoff's just slow enough. And that one, if he can just stay on him.
Well, that was a nice job there. Alex Trejo for Heritage kind of stood him up. Jordan Val came on and smacked him, but it was after about a 4-yard gain. So
4 yards in a cloud of dust.
That's a 20. Cloud of
water.
A mist. Cloud of mist today, but it's second and 6 for the Golden Eagles, and they're just going to pound it.
I would expect to see the exact same thing.
I think Coach Dugan's just going to keep it going, and there's a hole. That time it was Jason Hurls, number 26, and he's going to get about 3, 4. He's going to get to the 25, looks like, and Heritage is taking a timeout. I think they've decided they're not going to stop that play if they don't.
Yeah, we're going to see
something.
A little different defensive front, I think.
And I think Coach Dugan is probably thinking about that. Maybe not exactly sure how they're going to do it, but he's working on a play off of it, I guarantee you.
So if you're the Heritage coach, what are you running?
Well, you just got to
load up the box.
Yeah, you're just going to probably just get some men down in there. Maybe, although, you might. There's not much you can do with that beef running at you, right? But you've got to get your linebackers. You got to get your linebackers free. And right now they don't have that. I mean, those 2 guys are coming through and just drilling your linebackers. So you're going to have to maybe get an extra lineman in there to tie those guys up where a linebacker's free to come make a tackle.
Yeah, I think if you've got a big nose tackle that can run a shade off the center and do a good job, putting the center in one gap and then taking a hit.
Well, another thing you can do too is maybe stunt a little bit and get your if you got a quick defensive lineman in there that you can slant or get him in there early and get to those guys before they.
They went from a 4-2 to looks like a 5-4 essentially. No cornerbacks. Everybody's pulled in. They have a nose tackle and a 4-point stance. No, they don't, do they? So what Heritage is trying to do is, as the center and those 2 come up the middle, they're trying to slice in off the guard and catch it in the back. Jesus and Arby just aren't. They're just going straight ahead. So what Heritage is trying to do is pinch in.
Yeah, and if the handoff is developing that slowly, it's going to be a problem. Now it's 4th and 1, so let's see what happens. I think
so. 61 he looks like a 3 technique maybe.
Well, Trenton at that right there, they ran the quarterback sneak, and it looked like Trenton had a really good shot at it, but they're not going to give it to him. I thought he got a yard before they started pounding him back. Looks like he just ran right into the linebacker. Linebacker did a great job of just reading it and going. I think that's the play. I mean, that's the play I would have run too.
Yeah.
And but I think I would have. I think Trenton may have. Angles are a big thing down there. He's got to look at where it is, and that obviously that linebacker there was just looking for him to keep it and looking for where he was going, and he got there quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting proof of concept because if you can run that in a shotgun, where Trenton just he receives the ball, takes a step back, to give Arby and Brian a chance to go.
In the run of the shotgun, though, and you give up, they're in the gaps right now. They've outnumbered you down there because they were just getting whipped. And there's
Heritage with a good run. Who was that?
That was number 22. And with the tackle for the Golden Eagles was number
18, not Trenton Sizemore.
Well, it looked like 13 to me, but I don't see a 13 on our roster. But it was number 13. So good job, whoever you are, mystery man. But that was, with the run, was Riley Wages for Heritage. And that's Wages again. He's up the middle, and he's finding some gaps, finding some holes. Finally, Golden Eagles get him down, but only after he gets about 4. So it'll be second down. And Heritage has got a little momentum now. That 4th and 1 was a big play for them. And they've come out with a little bit of a head of steam offensively.
You mentioned this earlier, the gaps between the guard and the center. So that one and, the A gaps or the 1 and 2 hole. I mean, they've got, it looks like a 4-foot split.
Yeah, it's a big split.
And they don't have.
And that's Derek Jones playing that left tackle over there. Looks like, timeout. 3:32 left in the half. And Heritage saw something they didn't like there. So we got Coach Harris down there talking to his defense. Kyle Harris, defensive coordinator for the Golden Eagles. And Coach Brian Dugan, of course, head coach, and he handles the offense.
It's about 6 yards. We're going to say, yeah.
Second
Right
down,
at about 6 yards.
Ball's at the 40. And the War Eagles have, these last 2 plays, first play got a first down, second play got a good 4. Let's see what looks different this time.
Still in that pistol.
They got trips over there on the right side as well.
Brian's lined up in a shade. Fake the jet sweep, go up the middle. Is that Derek that whiffs?
Well, he got penetration and got in there, but he didn't have a great angle. And actually, that wasn't Derek.
That was 48.
That was a linebacker coming up.
Micah Harrison, maybe?
Yeah. I wanted to say 48 was Latchkit, but that was last year.
And not this year.
He's out there for the Bulldogs now. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
So they run the jet sweep this time. And great run, stays in bounds, so the clock will keep running.
Dylan Nye with the carry for the War Eagles. Looks like it's spotted at the 42.
Looks like it. That's first down.
Golden Eagles a little bit on their heels right now.
2:40 left in the half.
Yeah, Lakeside's just thinking, okay, let's just hold on here. If you give up, if you just don't give up big plays, you're going to be in pretty good shape here, I think. Again with the pistol there, with a wing back on the left side. Right up the middle again to 22, Wages. And he's going to be pulled down there by a number 49 for the Golden Eagles. And again, I don't have a 49 on the roster. Maybe that was 48. These things are so hard to read. I do see 48 out there. So I'm guessing maybe that was Micah Harrison. Nice job there. Gain of about 3. And there's Wages again right up the middle. Gets a few yards, but and then he busts
through. Gets a little bit more than a few. Way to keep his feet moving.
Well, he had a nice job there by number 73, one of his linemen, who, again, that 73 is not on Heritage roster.
We got a personal foul, looks like on Heritage. A little extracurricular activity in the secondary. I saw what I think was the aftermath of it, and I think we started with a hold, and they started wrestling around a little bit. Somebody got thrown to the ground. It is a personal foul. We've shown that on Heritage.
Well, that's one of those that's a big break there for the Golden Eagles because they have had a hard time stopping Heritage at this point.
I like this official. I can hear him all the way up in the announcer's booth.
Well, that's that's one of the legends of officiating here in Northwest Arkansas. Riddell Thompson's been around here longer than I have, and that's a long time.
I didn't know there was a longer than you.
Yeah, well, there sure is. I'm not the oldest guy around here. Riddell was a veteran when I started in 1989, basketball and football.
Tight shorts and T-bone face masks.
Yeah, that was a golden age, or at least the golden age of Bentonville High School coaches' shorts. That was for sure. And long coaches' pants. I had bright yellow coaching pants too.
I remember my coaches had they were the Nakona winter gloves, and I thought they were something fancy with them.
Well, I didn't have any fancy gloves, but we had our polyester coaching pants and coaching shorts. So that's going to make it 2nd and about 22. Which really changes the complexion of things.
First pass of the game is incomplete. Number 40, Javier Venegas, had a chance. It was just a little bit underthrown. Makes a good effort.
The bad thing there for the Golden Eagles is that stops the clock, and I think with 1:24 left in the half, they're just wanting to survive this drive. Now, each team has had 2 drives this game. Both teams pretty much keeping that right there being our first pass tonight. So again, 3rd and 22 with the ball at the Heritage 46.
Good snap. Going to pass again. And it's picked off. Lakeside picks it off.
And that is number 2. That's Slaughter Dominic with the interception. That's one of those, they throw it up there, it starts getting tipped around, and that's either going to be an interception or a touchdown.
Yep.
And it went the way of the Golden Eagles. With 1:13 left, I think Coach Dugan, the Heritage is going to get it back. So Coach Dugan may try something here. He may try something tricky, see if he can slide one past them and get a nice gain here early on. If we don't see something good happen on 1st and 2nd down, we'll probably see the clock.
I think this is also a real good chance for Lakeside to take back a little bit of momentum. They've got the pick, which shifts the momentum. Trenton's still under center. They still got the jumbo package, but they don't have the beef in. Handoff up the middle, about 3 yards, 2 yards.
Yeah, just a few. Looks like Coach is just going to kind of run it down. That was Jason Hurls with the carry.
We'll have one more play. There's 33 left on the play clock. There's about a second difference in favor of the game clock. So we'll get one more play. I would assume it'll either be Trenton will kneel it down or we'll run it up the middle again. 18 seconds.
And that was, I believe that was Hurls again. And that'll do it. That's the end of the first half. It's 0-0.
We'll be back with the start of the 3rd quarter here in about 8 minutes. And we're back here on the Lakeside Golden Eagle Sports Network. 20 seconds left and on the halftime break. So, Van, what'd you think about that first half?
Well, I think it was a quick first half. I mean, the clock only stopped once on one incomplete pass, pretty much. And both teams trying to run the ball. And look out there at the field. It looks like it's drained a little bit.
Yeah, there's not the standing water anymore.
Yeah, it's not standing like it was. And so maybe they'll try a little bit more.
My weather app is telling me it's just about to pick up again. And it does look like, and I can just see the rain coming down. It does look like it's starting to come down a little harder.
Well, again, it's going to be it's going to be a battle of attrition, of just, and by that I don't mean players going down. I mean hanging on to the ball.
Yeah.
So far, there's been one turnover, and that was a
that was a big
actually
one.
there have been two passes, I guess. It was an incomplete pass. They got tipped up in the air, and Slaughter Dominic came down with it for the Golden Eagles there with about a minute and a half left in the first half, and kind of stopped. Actually, Heritage kind of stopped themselves with that personal foul. They were driving it down the field, personal foul penalty, dropped them back and made it third and very, very long, so they attempted the pass. Golden Eagles be kicking off here as we start the second. They got the ball first, and they really moved the ball well in their first possession.
Yeah, and they had some good defense. I think that was the first shutout we've seen Lakeside pitch for a half. Gonna onside kick, recovered by number 26, Eden Slinker.
Yeah, tough when the onside kick doesn't go that 10 yards.
And Slinker did exactly what he needed to do. He just fell on it and balled up.
Well, again, Coach Dugan has shown he's willing to take some gambles, try some different things. He is an outside-the-box thinker. But Heritage has a fairly short field now. Now, if the Golden Eagles, they started off their first defensive possession, they had the War Eagles backed up inside the 5, so a little bit different situation. Heritage has been able to move the ball since then, but they haven't been able to just kind of close it, get it all the way home. Wages, nice job sidestepping.
Good run. So last time they ran this, it's that little jet sweep option, and it's probably an RPO. Last time they ran this, they went ahead and did the jet sweep on the next play, so that's something to look for here.
Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6 from the 40. Actually, gain of 3 right at the 45, so 2nd and 7. So let's see what they do. Because if it goes with what you're saying, we're going to see. Well, actually, there's nobody over there to run that jet sweep with. They've got a different. There he is.
Is that Wages again?
That's Wages, number 22.
Good hard run. Going to give him forward progress to, looks like the 38, 39 maybe.
So third and about 5, 4 or 5. Looks like about 5. Well, now the
2 or 3.
ball marker just moved again, so now I'm going to say 4 again this time. When you're doing this, you got to figure out. Sometimes you can't tell where the official's going to spot it, so you look at that ball marker over there, and then it ends up moving.
And Wages is going out. They're bringing in number 4, Jake Stout. We can hear the rain picking up a little bit in the booth.
Right up the middle. He looked like he was going to get it easily, and he gets tripped up just short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
It's a good lakeside spot. I'm assuming Heritage is going to go for it here. I'm kind of in no man's land. They're averaging every bit of 3 or 4 yards.
Well, that right there, they did a nice job of creating a gap for him, but I didn't catch who the tackle was on, but he did a good job closing in there and stopping him short.
And Wages is still out. Hensley with a hard count. And that's number 4, Stout, straight ahead for a pretty good gain. Going to get to about the 28 and a half, or 29 and a half.
It was a real good gain. It looked like he was going to be stopped, with the first down, but a pretty short run, and that pile just kept moving. He kept his feet moving. His linemen kept their feet moving, which was probably a bigger factor in that. 5:07 to play here in the third. Wages back in at tailback.
Hensley hands it off to him.
And they're doing a good job opening up that hole right there off tackle.
Yeah, Slaughter, number 13, which we don't have on our roster.
Jackson Watson in on that tackle too.
13 got in the backfield, but he over-penetrated, which we've seen a couple times from Lakeside. They'll bring a corner on a blitz, but they're getting too far upfield. The Heritage tackle, the Heritage end, whoever's just letting them. Still in that pistol formation. Bad snap. Hensley picks it up. He's going to keep it and get a couple yards.
It's spotted at the 21, so they're going to give him about 3. That'll make it third down and about 2?
Heritage in a little bit of a hurry up. Better snap this time. Wages up the middle. Gets the first down and then some. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 14. Heritage is in the red zone for the first time. 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, this is easily the closest they've been.
Yeah, this is a methodical drive.
I thought we had a timeout. Looks like an official's timeout to switch the ball out, get a dry ball in there, if there is such a thing tonight.
Mr. Lookadoo just walked into the play-by-play booth. He looks like a drowned rat. Run the jet sweep this time, and it goes nowhere.
That's a great job
play
by the Golden Eagles right there. That was, looks like
number 1.
Caden Roy doing a nice job of closing in there, coming up from safety. And that's what's going to have to happen with the way they've been stretching that out and finding those gaps in there, bringing that safety up hard on the run. Made a difference. Now, hopefully Heritage won't sucker him up there and throw it over his head.
Yeah, Lakeside's absolutely compressed in a little bit. Everybody's up close to the line. Wages with a good move. Jackson Watson, number 44.
It's going to get about 6.
And on the stop.
6 or 7 there. It's going to be third down at about the 8-yard line.
And then we got to think we're in 4-down territory right here, correct?
Well, we've been in 4-down territory this entire.
Yeah.
I
don't think anybody's going to try to kick it. And so we've got about 4 yards left, 5 yards. They just moved the sticks again. 4.5 yards.
Third about 4, a little over 4.
Heritage overloads the left.
And Wages right there runs right into a Golden Eagle. That's number 52 with a nice job.
Illegal
Jesus
motion on
Barroso.
Heritage. And Coach Dugan is declining that, making it 4th down and 6 or 7.
Yeah, that'll put the ball at the 12.
This is a big play for Lakeside.
So it's going to be 4th and about 8. 7 or 8. Depends on where they finally decide to put the ball there. The ball's at the 12-yard line, and they need to get up close to the 9. I'm sorry. Close to the 6.
5, yeah.
Or the 4, I'm sorry, yeah. Past the 5-yard line.
Heritage has run that hard count a few times.
Well, you got to do that right there. I mean, that's just part of it at this level. And there is a completed pass for a touchdown.
And a great throw and catch.
Dylan Nye with the reception.
Nye had decent coverage on him, but Hensley threw it to where only he could get it. Heritage scores the first points of the game, and they're going to kick it. This is going to be an adventure.
Well, here's the thing. Giving up one touchdown, you're not going to win unless you score anyway. Mm-hmm. So the Golden Eagles here, if they can stop the extra point, you're still in the same position you were. You don't want to tie. You want to win. And you were going to have to get a touchdown anyway. Looks like we've got Alex Ugalde attempting the extra point. It's up. It's short, but it does drop over the crossbar. It's good. It'll be 7-0 Heritage with 1:20 left in the third. And again, you got one team taking the ball, and they just ran off, 6 minutes and 40 seconds in one period.
Yeah, we seem to be getting about a drive a quarter, unless something happens.
Each team is touching the ball one time a quarter.
And we saw this. This is, we hoped that Lakeside was going to get some momentum back with that Slaughter Dominic pick to end the half. But Heritage, when they recovered that onside kick, they just marched down the field. And they were.
Well, they had to earn it. They did. It took some time, and it took a 4th and 6 play.
Yeah.
And the first complete pass of the game. Only, I think, the third pass attempted. One incompletion, one interception, and one touchdown.
Decent kick by Ugalde. I think it's Caden Roy mishandled.
Not sure which way to go right there. But I believe that is number 1, Caden. He gets it up close to the 30, about the 28, 29. Let's see where they spot it. 1:10 left to play in the third. And the Golden Eagles take over at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10. With a chance here to march down, score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, and take the lead. All right.
Trenton's under center. Is that Caden in the backfield?
That's Hurles.
Okay.
He goes up the middle. He's going to get a few. He's going to get about 3. They're going to put him at the 32. 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 now. "31 seconds and ticking left here in the third."
And this will be the last play of the quarter. Trenton thinks about passing, and he does. Right into the arms of number 32, Ethan Vidal. Returns it to the 42. And I was just joking about that being the last play of the quarter.
Yep.
Because Heritage has it back.
Well, and I was going to say, it'll be the last play unless something bad happens or something really good happens. Well, something really bad happened. And I think they're just going to go ahead and let this run off. And that's the end of the quarter. 7-0 Heritage. They'll have the ball on the Lakeside 42-yard line when we come back here in just a moment for the fourth quarter on the Lakeside Golden Eagles Sports Network.
And we're back here on the Lakeside Golden Eagles Sports Network. Score is 7-0 in favor of the Heritage War Eagles. They have the ball on their own 42 after the pick.
Golden Eagles looking for a big break here. Heritage has all the momentum. And there's Wages. He's hit in the backfield, and he's finally brought down for loss. We had one of the Golden Eagles get some good penetration back there and messing up the mesh point a little bit. He didn't have much place to go before a couple of teammates got up there and brought him down. It's a loss of a yard. Ball's at the 43. 2nd and 11 for Heritage.
Hensley brings Wages over to the other side, takes the handoff around the left end.
Very nice tackle over there. I think that's Roy again. Yeah, it's Caden Roy over there with the tackle. And, again, he got about a yard. It looks like he's about back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Nice job by Caden filling in there. Again, that's one of those plays that in the third quarter was looking wide open until that safety started going up and filling that hole. And Caden did a great job coming up there. But what you're looking for now is some kind of play action off of that, and you catch your safety up playing the run and leaving something wide open behind him. You got to watch for that.
Trips to the right. Hensley goes back. Roughly the same play that they ran earlier.
He hit him right in the hands. Good job by the Golden Eagles of putting a hit on him there. He wasn't able to bring the ball in. With 4th and 10 now, looks like Heritage is bringing in their punt team.
Yeah, and they're kind of daring Lakeside to just go down the field.
6:21, plenty of time left for the Golden Eagles. Very nice punt when they punted out of that end zone in the first half. So they've shown they're capable of pinning the Golden Eagles deep. And there's a ball that's going to hit and bounce, and it's going to go right out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
They're lucky that went out. Slaughter touched it and then didn't do anything else with it.
So the Golden Eagles are going to have to go 96 yards with 6:11 left to get back in this game. We've seen crazier things happen here.
Yeah, just a few times. I'm assuming whoever's supposed to be on field goal catching duty into the mud pit's pretty pleased that they haven't had to do a lot of work today.
Yeah, that is a mess back there right now. You go down and trip in the wrong place, and you got some rebar to pull out of you.
Trenton's in his own end zone. And it's a reverse. Well played. Trenton with a block out front leading.
And that, I believe, is Hurls. No, that's number 6 running the ball. That's Joel Clement.
Gets a couple.
Gets up to the 5, so about 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9. And again, that was a risky play. All those handoffs in the end zone. Dakota Langford is back at tailback now, as Trenton's back up under center. And it looks like a bad snap.
Dakota's
Did you
got
see
the
it?
ball.
Did it look like quarterback looked like he never got the ball, but the line just kind of moved forward. So somebody had it, but he got a couple. It's going to be 3rd and about 7. Ball's spotted there. It looks like about the 12-yard line.
4 minutes, 45 seconds left in the game. Lakeside with the ball on the 8.
So Trenton is back in the shotgun again. Langford's back there with him.
Low snap is handled.
Trenton keeps it. And he's going to get maybe a yard, maybe nothing, but I think he's going to get about a yard. That's going to make it 4th and about 6 or 7, depending on where they put it. And as I'm looking here, and I'm Coach Dugan, I'm thinking, okay, 4th and 6, 4:06, and clock running. Do you punt it out of there and see if you can stop them?
And he's going to think about that.
He's going to take a timeout and think a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I guarantee you that. Because if you had a play you knew you could get 6 yards with, you'd run it already.
But you do have options because Trenton's the punter, and they've been doing that quick punt fairly regularly. So I think a lot of this, maybe you tell Trenton, see what they do, and if they're off the ball, take off.
Well, first thing you're going to do is try a bit of a hard count and see if they can't get Heritage to jump off sides. Coach Dugan's been pretty consistent about that, and I'm sure that's what Heritage is over there telling their players. Head coach at Heritage, I don't know who they consider their head freshman coach, but the head coach at Heritage is a former Springdale Bulldog, Eric Munoz, who was a member of some of those great teams back in the day. And he's trying to change the culture there at Heritage. And this will be a big win for them if they can stop Lakeside on this play with 4 minutes left. They're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Golden Eagles, again, looks like he's going for it, but again, he'll also sometimes back up his quarterback and then let him punt it. So I would say there's going to be a hard count first to see if they can make it a 4th and 1. And there was a little confusion there. Trenton's going to run for it, though. Looked for a second like he might turn the corner, and when he did, you had a linebacker coming from the backside bringing him down. It looked like it was number 44, Tyler McFan.
Trenton got about 2 yards on that.
So Heritage is going to take over. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. .345, clock still running. So the Golden Eagles have got 2 timeouts to work with. If they can stop Heritage, keep them out of the end zone. Because the good news is Heritage is close to the end zone, so they're not going to have a long – they can't get a long well, it's not going to matter now. I was going to say they can't get a long drive to run the timeout from the 9, but they can score on their first play and make it 13-0, which is
That probably seals the
probably
game.
going to seal it.
It's been kind of a game of momentum. Heritage, Lakeside had that huge drive that they couldn't finish in the first, and then just haven't been able to do it. after that. And it's been the difference. I think that really set the tone. Lakeside almost blocks it.
Kick's good, 14-0. Heritage is going to kick off here with 3:20 left to play. And the Golden Eagles looking for a quick score and a onside kick. That's the chance they're going to have right now. Roy's back deep.
Lakeside's attempted one pass today, and that was picked off in the third. And Lakeside hasn't had a ton of success this season throwing the ball. But they have been able to break off a few runs. When they have had success, it's usually been to Derek Jones, who is playing. Now, he's coming off a pretty severe hand injury, so I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to catch. But, you know, when he gets the ball, he rumbles and stumbles forward. Pretty good kick to the 20, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Well, that's we had the side judge over there on the opposite side got tangled up with a Heritage player and went down, but they both look like they've survived it. Ball goes out of bounds around the 20. That's going to make it that's a penalty. The ball's going to come back to the 35. Lakeside will take over right there. They have the option of making them kick again. And, you know, if you felt like you had a great return threat, you might take a shot at it. I think Coach is quite happy to take the ball at the 35-yard line right now.
So let's see what Lakeside does. Caden Roy split out wide to the left. If I'm guessing, they're looking to isolate him. And Lakeside's going to get the penalty for too many men on the field. And back them up 5. So 1st and 15 on the 30.
Yeah, that 5 yards, at this point, that timeout he would have needed to take to avoid the penalty is more valuable than that 5 yards is right now.
So Caden Roy still split out, twins right. Bad snap, and I think Heritage recovered. And they did.
I'm still waiting. There we go. There's the first indication from an official that it was Heritage ball. The ball didn't even make it back to the quarterback. I'm not sure what happened right there. Was there an upback maybe that he hit?
Just that wet ball. It's starting to rain pretty good again. The snaps have not been super clean all night. And it's a hard skill if you're not practicing that every day, if you're not used to snapping to somebody under center.
Well, especially with the wet.
Yeah,
the wet's the problem.
It's a big difference.
Well, he wasn't even under center there. He was back in.
No.
He was back in the shotgun.
Yeah, then it just slipped out.
The ball just. I just saw him react, and there's no ball.
Yeah. Wages is in the backfield with Hensley.
2:36 left here. There's Wages again. Nowhere to go right there.
Lakeside's ready for it. They've run that play, and that was the play they scored on. 2:25.
Roy up there putting the final hit on. I couldn't make out who the early defenders were.
It looks like we might let this roll.
I guarantee you Heritage is in no hurry to snap the ball. They're going to take every one of those 40 seconds between plays. Golden Eagles with 2 timeouts left. I'm pretty sure Coach Dugan is he's going to save that. If it looks like there's a chance that the Golden Eagles can get it back, he'll take those timeouts. But I think at this point he's probably just going to let it go. There's Wages up the middle. He's got nowhere to go. He gets a couple yards back up to the original. Well, actually just a yard short of the original line of scrimmage. He's at the 35. 3rd down and about 11.
Minute 25 left. 25 seconds on the play clock. So the Golden Eagles will get this back. We'll have one last chance to at least score some points. Hensley takes the ball to Wages, who is stopped in the backfield again.
I believe that's Jesus Barroso, 52, with a nice play. Coach Dugan goes ahead and takes the timeout now with 49 seconds left to play. It's 4th down, and it's going to be, what, about 12?
Yeah.
4th and 12 for Heritage.
Jesus is lucky he didn't get a unsportsmanlike on that. Kind of threw him down after the whistle. Your after forward progress was stopped.
You know what I like seeing, though, is that there was no give up right there.
Yeah.
In this drive right here, that defense still came out to play.
Yeah, that was their best defensive stand of the half, and not by a little. In both of those plays, the one little sweep out to the left and then the Wages up the middle, that middle run, they've probably been averaging 4 or 5 yards a play. Wages has scored on that sweep a couple of times.
Well, here's the 4th down play with 49 seconds to play.
And they are going to go for it. It's not super surprising. Kind of in no man's land. Hensley overthrows his man. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Lakeside's going to take over with 49 seconds left to play. So we could see a miracle on Emma Van. We could, Trenton could throw it down there, score. Onside kick, do the same thing again. So there's still a little bit of hope, but I don't think there's a lot.
Well, it's just, you see what you can happen. You see what you can make happen here. Now the clock started. I don't think it was supposed to. I think it was supposed to. That was after an incomplete pass. I believe the clock shouldn't be running. Nobody's complaining.
Another bad snap, and that's Caden. Picks it up, takes off, 17 seconds.
Trying to get out of bounds. Can't quite make it.
Coach Dugan's going to let it run. No, he's not. He's going to take that last time out.
5 seconds left. He wants one more shot, see if we can make something happen. But there's no way to score and get an onside kick at this point. This is just about the pride of maybe we can get a score on the board. Ball's at the 36. 2nd down, which that, of course, doesn't matter at this point. All right, here we go.
Roy again.
He's going to get a few yards, get bounced around and brought down, and that's going to end it. And the Heritage War Eagles take it 14-0 in the final home game this season for the Lakeside Golden Eagles. This will be our final stream of the year for football. The Golden Eagles 8th grade team will be in action again next Thursday. They'll play their final, or this coming Thursday, they'll play their final home game at Gerald Williams Bulldog Stadium of this season. They'll take on the Oakdale Raiders, or the Oakdale Patriots, I mean. And they've got a pretty nice season going. If you're looking for some football and the weather's nice Thursday, come out and see the Golden Eagles. They got a tailback named Wilder Larice, who's been really fun to watch this year. And both teams will end their seasons next week. And then we're going to turn it to to basketball. Jamie and I will have we'll have a few basketball games for you this year, and we'll also have a band and choir concert next Tuesday night. So tune in for more Lakeside Golden Eagle extracurriculars here on the Lakeside Golden Eagle Sports Network.